This is One on One. Eric, talk a little bit about football itself. What drew you to football? What keeps you drawn to football, given how violent a sport it is, and who am I to tell you how violent it is? I was a place kicker in high school and in college, so how would I know? Go ahead.
So you want to talk about violent? It all started with playing kill the man with the ball on the side of my house.
Whoa, I'm not going to let you get past it. Kill the man
with the ball. When I was 4 years old, I had three friends. Two of them were the same age as me.
Get out of here.
And on the side of my
Where'd
house.
you grow up?
In Avondale, New Jersey, part of Woodbridge Township.
Interesting, the transition from stage to film challenging.
Oh, yeah.
But also, a film like this comes out. There's an audience for it. Most of us who love the Broadway production wanted to see it. Others who are curious.
Yeah.
They know you now. Who didn't know you before, whatever. How much pressure do you put on yourself, in spite of all the support, in spite of what your dad told you, Clint Eastwood told you? How much pressure do you put on yourself to say, this is what I need to do next? Or do you just let the universe decide?
Such a good question. High five.
After everything you just said, explain to our audience why you switched. You know what's coming.
Come on.
You became a Republican.
I've been a Republican for a very long time.
Okay, so explain it.
Well,
Because as we do this program, it appears, and again, it's later after, say Donald Trump is the nominee. Mm-hmm. You going to vote for Donald Trump?
Hell no. No, I will not.
You said you're Republican.
So what? You know, this is the other thing. Labels, how do they define us? You know, are you a Catholic? What are you? You know what I'm saying?
I'm Roman Catholic.
Right, okay, but why?
Because I grew up Roman Catholic. I believe in the Catholic Church. And you can ask me, I believe in every aspect of what comes out of the Vatican. The answer would be no. Those who say, strip down Dodd-Frank, take it away, it is killing us, it is strangulating business, you say?
Well, I say that's right, because I think that the banks are seeing all of these new rules and all of these new costs that come with the rules, and as a result, they're sitting on cash.
But weren't those rules in place because of what many of the banks did in 2008?
Yes, absolutely.
I believe I saw you do this. I actually know more about the Real Housewives series than I'd like to admit.
Well, you're married, so if it's to a woman, then I assume that she...
Well, it's also because I'm a scholar of media. You don't realize that. It's what I do. That's my way of explaining things. So I'm watching you give advice to, who was it? Because you're in a meeting. She forced you to come to a meeting. So you knew right away.
Yes.
And you were like, she was saying, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to have 18 different products, and you started to ask a series of what I thought were quite strategic and smart questions about how one thing was connected to the next. And I think you were about to pull your hair out. Bring this back home for us. 1995, the state of New Jersey takes over the Newark public schools. The argument is the city has failed the public school children, that the local government, the local board of education can't get it right. State comes in and take over. It's not the only place that happened. And the argument today that you and many others have said is enough is enough. 20 years plus. Enough is enough. Make the argument that it's time for, quote unquote, local control, A and B. What would be different? Because the city lost control for failing those children for a long time.
Well, I mean, that and some other things probably, but I mean, there's about only 4 districts in the entire state of New Jersey that are occupied by the state. And if you go by the
Jersey City, Patterson, Camden. Right. But to push back, all the research shows that a college degree produces exponentially more income for that person over his or her lifetime than not having.
And this is where we're going to have such a laugh, you and I together.
Go ahead.
All the research funded by the people that have financial vested interest in people going to college.
So you don't believe the statistics?
I do not believe statistics that are funded to create a narrative that is in the best interest of the institution paying for the statistics. No, I do not.
You grew up in the South. You're here, and we are literally here at 66 and Broadway, and your office, tell everyone where it is?
Right across the street. You could almost see my window from here. Almost.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
Right? So you're here in Manhattan. You've succeeded in so many ways and turned down some great gigs, right, because of family, right? Is it sometimes, or particularly earlier on, because of what you came from, geographically and otherwise, and everything it represents?
Economically.
Now, I grew up in New Jersey. New York is New York. Similar, you get the point. Is there sometimes it strikes you about not just the pace here, but the difference of the way we sometimes treat each other?
Oh, gosh, all the time.
So let me get this straight. So you find out that there's this guy that has this foundation, and he wants to help young men and women pursue their education because he wants to give something back because someone gave him an opportunity a few years before. And you think what?
I think I have to give back myself. You get something, you get this gift that you're not really too sure who gave it to you and why they gave it to you.
Did you know who he was?
At the time when I first received it, no.
You did not?
No. I later found out who he was and what the story behind it was. And then that intrinsically instilled in me, well, if he cares about me, why shouldn't I care about other people? Why can't I give back to these people who are giving back to me?
Is that part of why you hooked up with the organization?
Of course.
To give back?